All right, sixth graders, today we're going to look at how to find the unit rate from a graph. There will be times when you have a graph and a table, and there will be times when you only have a graph to look at. We've given you strategies of how to find the unit rate from a table. Today we're going to look at how to find it from a graph. So let's take a look at our first one. The first one has a x-axis that goes in increments of 1 and a y-axis that goes in increments of 10. Remember, to find our unit rate, we are going to have y over x. So what is easy about this first one is when you see an x that has a 1 and a dot on the 1 where the x is, right here, that makes our life a lot easier because now we've already figured out what our x coordinate is. So to get the y, you go up to where you strike the plotted part of the graph and then you slide over to the left, and this here will be your y. So you have an x and a y. So your unit rate from this graph would be 10 over 1. Now, you could use other points here. You can say, okay, 4 to 40. Okay, so then that y over x would be 40 over 4. And when you simplify that, you're still going to get the exact same answer as you would have if you went as 1 as your x. So this divided by 4 will still give you your 10 over 1. But always look to see if the 1 itself right here has the ability to go up and strike the graphed line. The second one's a little bit more difficult. Right, so when you look at this graph here, you have a line that doesn't go through points that are easy to read. So what I like to do is I look at my graph and I find the points that are easy to read. So I start from the origin, I work my way up, and here's a point right here. That's a point that's easy for me to read. Because what happens is they fall on this one up here because it falls where you can read an x and you can read a y. So you can pick any one of those points to find your unit rate. So let's start with the smaller x here. So I'm going to go 3 up, and then I'm going to cut over to my y. All right, and my y over x is going to be 4 over 3. The other one I could use, I don't have to, but I could use this point right here where 6 is my x, and I slide way over, and 8 is my y. Now, what we have to do next is figure out how we're going to get that to a unit rate. So again, we're going to make these equal to 1 on the bottom of your right denominator. And I know in this case 3 divided by 3 and 4 divided by 3 would give me my answer. So 4 divided by 3 would be 1 1/3, or 1.33 repeated. Okay, now if I did the same thing here, if I divided this by 6 and this by 6, I would get 1 1/3, or 1 33 hundredths repeated. So always look to find where you see easily read points and determine what your x is and what your y is, and use that to determine your unit rate.